最近油管上关于中国和印度的对比视频非常多，越来越多的旅游博主发现了这两个国家是平台的流量密码，只要把它们放在一起，就有印度人跟中国人的激烈讨论。当然，自信的三哥是不会接受中国比他们强的。评论区里，印度网友不断挑衅发问，为什么没人敢拍中国的贫民窟？他们坚信中国一定藏着比印度更脏更乱的地方，只是不敢让外国人看到。直到这位美国博主埃里克决定用镜头给出答案，他把镜头对准了中国广东的省会城市广州。他发现广州虽然常常被称为一线城市，但这里隐藏着很多不为人知的城中村。要知道，在西方他们通常不会承认这些是城中村，他们更愿意叫这些城中村为贫民窟。埃里克发布了在广州城中村迷路的视频，视频迅速达到了31万观看，同时也引起了众多网友的评论。有人说它像一个天堂，也有人说它更像一个牢笼，但博主埃里克不这么认为，他认为不应该把人分为3、6、9等，这里的人跟城市里的人没什么不同，而所谓的中国贫民窟也可能和你想象的完全不一样。今天就让我们跟着这位美国博主的镜头，一起走进这个真实的城中村世界。
Over on YouTube, comparison videos between China and India are absolutely blowing up, and in the comments sections you'll find Indians asking why nobody ever visits China's slums, claiming they're just as dirty as India's. With China rolling out its 144-hour visa-free policy, more and more foreigners are actually experiencing China's infrastructure and social environment firsthand, and plenty of them are genuinely shocked. This comparison between two population giants has got a lot of Indian folks pretty worked up. But some people still insist that China only shows off its best side while hiding countless slum areas that are supposedly worse than Indian slums. This American YouTuber Eric caught wind of this debate and decided to use his camera to reveal what Chinese slums actually look like. He made a video titled, "I Got Lost in China's Biggest Slum," that racked up 310,000 views pretty quick. The footage was mind-blowing, showing buildings packed together so tight that walking between them you can't even tell if it's day or night. Foreign viewers started worrying about the blogger's safety, figuring he'd probably get mugged in a place like that. This guy travels around China year-round and knows his way around, but since the term slum doesn't really fit China's situation, he settled on heading to Guangzhou to check out what they call urban villages. Right off the bat, he showed up near Guangzhou's Shirpai village early in the morning, and immediately his camera footage had Indian viewers losing it, because the little restaurants lining the street looked spotlessly clean with no sewage or trash on the ground.
Well, at this urban village, this is Shirpai Cun, which I guess kind of translates to stone tablet village, something like that, stone plate village. So here's kind of the main street, I guess, as we enter. We have Zhu Jiao Fan, which is pig rice, pig foot rice, delicious stuff. We have a fast food restaurant, lots of little fast food restaurants.
This scene shocked quite a few Indian netizens, with one commenting, "Wait, this is supposed to be near a slum? Looks more like a pedestrian street in a rich neighborhood." Eric kept walking and came across an elementary school. Sure, the building looked a bit dated, but this Chinese urban village school was just as clean as educational facilities in wealthy Indian neighborhoods. Maybe worried his Indian viewers would question whether this was actually a poor area, Eric helpfully said, "Hold your horses. The Chinese slum is coming right up. See those handshake buildings stuck together? In Chinese cities, people who aren't doing so great financially usually live in buildings like these, with their exterior walls plastered with ads for single-room rentals, which seem to confirm this really was where low-income folks lived." Just as he was about to enter the core area of the urban village, a bright fruit and fresh food supermarket caught Eric's attention. Well-organized, properly ventilated, no funky smells, the shopping environment was on par with upscale supermarkets in fancy Indian malls.
Here we have a grocer, a green grocer, fruits and veg, and also other products back there, dry goods. It's a supermarket. Let's go down here.
This had foreign netizens freaking out all over again. Like the comments said, this Chinese slum is way cleaner than modern cities in some countries, with way better infrastructure too. Finally getting inside the urban village, things started looking a bit run down. The gap between two tall buildings was less than half a meter, with sunlight chopped into slivers by layers of buildings, making the alleyways look dark and oppressive even on a sunny day. But then Eric helpfully pointed out that yeah, this is definitely a Chinese slum, but check out the number of AC units on these buildings, enough to install central air conditioning for the entire Dharavi slum in India. Obviously way better living conditions than slums in many countries. But as he went deeper, there wasn't even room to install AC units anymore.
Boy, these are two separate buildings here. Incredible. That's freaking insane. Not a hallway, this is a road. So we got sandbags. I guess there was construction going on maybe. Yeah, the bricks as well. Somebody doing some renovation.
With fiber optic cables and wires growing wild through every gap. Seeing this dim environment and messy wiring, some Indian netizens got excited saying finally, this is the familiar slum vibe, smells just like ours. But they quickly got confused again because the alleyways had tons of motorcycles and e-bikes parked on both sides, looking brand new but barely locked up. Someone commented, these nice rides just sitting out here like that, aren't people worried about theft? Eric then explained that in China, for safety reasons, there are specific laws prohibiting electric vehicles from entering residential buildings.
See all these e-bikes, they're not motorcycles, they are electric. And again, it's illegal to bring your battery inside your house in China, so you gotta charge them outside.
As for why nobody worries about theft, just look at the surveillance cameras overhead. The monitoring system throughout these streets makes stealing pretty much impossible. This display naturally sparked discussion among foreign netizens, the usual debate about privacy versus security, though this time viewers seemed more on the security side. After all, in their experience, dark, narrow environments like this are usually breeding grounds for crime, but here that didn't seem to be happening.
Is that it is a densely populated urban environment occupied by low-income people. I was in no way trying to imply that these urban villages are bad places, but instead to show that just because a place is low-income or filled with migrants, that it doesn't mean that place is dirty or dangerous. It was meant to pose a challenge to people who harbor negative feelings towards people they perceive as below them or different to them. The other reason was to show that if the local government cares enough to provide services to these places, that they can also be pleasant, safe places to live that are vital to communities.
Turns out the only real danger when walking around here is not bumping into delivery guys taking shortcuts.
I don't know how this guy finds where to deliver the food to.
As Eric's camera kept moving, foreign viewers noticed that besides the cramped, narrow paths and messy wires in the deeper areas, the slightly wider streets had all kinds of shops selling daily necessities and offering authentic local food. Breakfast joints, braised meat stalls, little vegetable shops next door, a dazzling array while still staying tidy and clean. This had foreign netizens getting restless again, saying compared to Indian slums, this place is like paradise. Though one guy had a different take, commenting, compared to India, anywhere is paradise. After wandering around all morning, Eric got hungry and ducked into a roadside rice noodle roll shop, ordering a local specialty breakfast. Sitting down, he felt a bit nervous about the food hygiene situation in an urban village.
Alright, so we're gonna have some changfen, and changfen is very traditional Cantonese breakfast. We'll see what it's like in this little urban village. Should be pretty affordable. I guess probably 10 kwai. We'll see.
Eric mentioned that in China, the most authentic and delicious local food is usually hidden in little spots like this. Sure enough, after paying 8 yuan, he couldn't stop raving about his breakfast experience.
It's actually really, really good. Might be one of the best changfen I've ever had.
只要路线所需要，我可以随时出现在你身旁。你在某些孙子就要多一点耐心。
多少？多少钱
8块钱。
8块。谢谢。
The blogger walked a bit more and found a shop selling handmade steamed buns. He kept asking the owner about what it's really like living and doing business in a place like this. The owner said he thought it was pretty good, lively, and convenient here.
Hello， 你会说英语吗？
是中国的馒头吗？
你会说英语吗？
不会。
哎，你住在城中村里面吗？你住在这里面吗？
对呀。
你觉得怎么样？城中村
很好啊，
很好吗？
你的中文讲得好吗？
谢谢。你哪里人？你哪里人？
我河南人呢。
河南人。
到外国去看我们的大馒头好不好？
应该挺好的。我看一下吗？
看我们河南的大馒头好不好？光是面的。
都是面。
发到中国去啊，还是老家去啊？
哦，你说这个视频吗？
对呀。
对，在油管。油管外国的平台。
外国的平台。
对对对。
那我们的产品要推销到国外去啊？
馒头吗？
对呀。
我们美国也有馒头。
美国的馒头跟它不一样啊。
在唐人街，有没有去过吗？
没有出过国。
没有。那个店怎么样？
可以啊，不是很贵。
不是很贵。大概多少钱一个月
1000块啦。
几千块？可以的。也住在这里还是住在另外一个地方？
住在外边。
你做生意吧。好，谢谢，谢谢。拜拜。
After saying goodbye to the owner, Eric continued on and discovered a scene that really surprised him. A pork knuckle rice restaurant hadn't opened yet, but pork, chicken, rice, and eggs just delivered were neatly stacked at the entrance, waiting for the owner to come back and get them. This kind of slum is unbelievable. He also found that community facilities here were really comprehensive, with even a mini fire station and a cute little fire truck nearby. Urban village alleyways are so narrow that regular fire trucks can't get through, so these small-scale firefighting facilities can quickly spring into action in emergencies, showing the refined level of Chinese community management. Getting to a slightly wider street, he found tons of good food here. Besides local snacks, there were specialties from all over. Eric didn't hold back, straight up bought a baked bun and went to town on it. This Xinjiang specialty has always been his favorite. Gotta say, Eric really knows his China. Finally full and satisfied, he continued exploring the urban village, and as time went on, more pedestrians started showing up.
Man, I walked through here an hour ago and this place was dead. Now look at it. It is alive and kicking.
Walking along, Eric spotted sanitation workers sweeping the streets, wearing uniform work clothes and seriously cleaning every corner with their tools. He remarked that with such a professional sanitation team regularly cleaning, even crowded places can stay tidy. The middle of the community even had a map display board, which made him want to snap a photo, because navigating through these complex handshake buildings, a map is super important. It detailed every alley and building in the urban village, marking the locations of facilities like farmers markets, activity centers, and pocket parks. Following the map's directions, Eric zigzagged his way to an open area where a peaceful artificial lake suddenly appeared, with the community kindergarten right next to it. Standing by the lake, the blogger instinctively sniffed the air, because in his mind, bodies of water in slums usually smell pretty nasty. Instead, this place was filled with refreshingly clean air, and combined with the rising sun, the scenery was absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, this is beautiful. Nice little place full of tranquility, serenity, just like Bonnie Doon. And here is the kindergarten right there. What a really cool, fascinating place to go to kindergarten, right? My kindergarten was definitely not this interesting.
Anyway, during today's so-called exploration of a Chinese slum, everything Eric showed about this urban village had foreign netizens completely losing it. Most foreign viewers were blown away by the true face of Chinese urban villages. Compared to some chaotic neighborhoods in America, this place is way too clean and safe. Back home, walking down alleys like this, you could run into danger any second, but in China, what I see is order and a sense of security. Chinese slums might be cramped, but the infrastructure is solid and life is convenient. However, a few voices stood out like sore thumbs. One netizen commented these people live in dense cages, losing their souls and freedom. Eric directly clapped back in the comments with, "You think these people lack morals because they live in a dense neighborhood?" This response got tons of likes, with everyone piling on to roast that commenter.
好了，看到这里你应该明白了，中国的城中村和印度的贫民窟根本就是两个完全不同的概念，但很多人就是搞不清楚这一点。这些城中村是怎么来的呢？在中国城市化疯狂扩张的时候，城市的发展速度太快了， 农村土地瞬间就被城市包围了。但这些地方还保留着原来的村庄结构，住在这里的大多是外来务工人员和低收入群体，他们住着小房间，每天辛苦打拼，为这座城市的建设贡献着力量。没错，这里的楼房挤得很紧，空间确实局促，但如果你因此就把这里说成是人间地狱，那你就完全理解错了。这些城中村更像是城市的动脉，充满了生活的烟火气和活力，让整个城市运转起来。说到基础设施，这些城中村该有的都有，水电网络、垃圾清运、污水处理一样不少。就像埃里克在石牌村拍到的，干净的超市、学校、社区诊所、消防站，甚至还有公园。再看看孟买的达拉维贫民窟，基本的卫生设施都是奢望，很多地方没有自来水，没有厕所，垃圾堆成山，污水横流，疾病肆虐。除了卫生问题，还有安全问题。中国的监控系统覆盖率高得惊人，天网系统把摄像头铺满每一个城中村角落。数据也证明了一切，中国的犯罪率在全球范围内都保持着极低水平，而印度的贫民窟那就是犯罪的温床，抢劫、盗窃、暴力事件简直就是家常便饭。埃里克的镜头真的打破了很多印度网友对中国贫民窟的误解。有条评论说得特别好，别用你们国家的落后思维来理解中国，真实的中国充满了能量和希望。即使是这些所谓的贫民窟，也展现出惊人的活力和社会秩序。好了，如果这个视频让你大开眼界，别忘了点赞订阅我的频道，这样你就不会错过下一期精彩内容。也记得去埃里克的频道看看，给他点个关注，支持他记录真实中国的精彩工作。我已经在置顶评论中放出了他的频道链接，同时也可以在评论区告诉我，关于这些城中村，什么是让你感到惊讶的？咱们下期节目再见。